We'll be hearing about that one. The key match incidents panel will say, "Oh yeah, well the referee got that one wrong," and
Yeah.
we'll have
Was
to
that
sit.
something,
We'll have to sit with it. That kind of decision is the kind of thing that could send us down. Hello, everybody, and welcome to CADS. We're here to talk about something a little different. A win, ladies and gentlemen. 118 days since our last one, but we finally managed to do it against the worst possible side in the league. But a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points. We should be happy, right? How are we feeling? David, how you doing, David?
Well, I had a great day yesterday. We had the voice of the lane, James Black, at the pub.
We did.
It was a proper knees up beforehand. He was brilliant, I thought, and a really fantastic guy, a really nice guy. And I thought he did really well, especially once he got the guitar in tune.
Yes.
And then we had the match, and although I didn't think we were great, we won. And I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, I am later, but for now, just fantastic.
All right. We're also joined by Marcel, and we've got Ash joining up right now as well. So we'll be speaking to him in a minute. But Marcel, how are you doing? Long time no see.
Yes, I've been out, as you know, with my hip operation, but I'm back home now, so happy to join again. Yes, was it the best game I've ever seen or best performance I've ever seen? Obviously not. But then again, we've seen it time and time again. Our game will descend to the lowest common factor, and they brought us down to their level, and we played shite like them. Look at Liverpool. Look at Brighton, and we played well because these are teams that are playing at a certain level. This is why I'm actually quite optimistic about the games coming up against Villa and Chelsea. Anyway,
well, Chelsea has now been postponed. That's been put back because they're now in the FA Cup final. So we're not quite sure when that one's going to be played yet, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we did not play well in the second half. We looked good in the first half, and then we just seemed to drop off a cliff in the second half. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was better. It was better. Ash, how you doing?
Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, Dave. Hey, Marcel. Good to see you back, mate.
Right.
All right, Ash. We're talking quick thoughts on the game. What were your quick thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I agree with what you guys were saying. What Marcel just said. They played 8 or 9 at the back, so tough to all season long. Tough to break those down, especially when Xavi goes out. I thought our pressing, some of the good things last couple of games, our pressing seems to be really improving. So many times we dispossessed them, got the ball back. We didn't do much with it, but we certainly got the ball back from our 2 and 3 man press. And that was encouraging to see that. I'll tell you this, no matter where we are next season, De Zerbi, I think, is going to change this team and make us better. So wherever we are, we're going to be better. That's my thoughts. Good to see a win.
Yeah.
If he sticks around is the issue. If we go down, he has said that relegation is not the deciding factor. It's how well he gets on with the management. I mean, it just seems like an easy cop out to me.
Well, that makes sense. You know, wouldn't you do the same if you were in a job situation like that? You know, if senior management wasn't going to work with you, you go, fuck this, I'm moving on. You know, so totally get that. You know.
I think the whole will he stay or will he go question. I think that's a question for another pod when we know where we're going to be next season.
Yeah, that is very true.
And I think that will be after the last match of the last match of the season because it's great winning, but unfortunately West Ham won and again won probably because of a very dodgy penalty decision in the last minute. Extraordinary bad luck for us and for Everton. So,
Marcel,
could I just go back to what you're saying about De Zerbi? And did he not look a little bit subdued on the bench yesterday, first half? He's not his usual exuberant self. Has something gone on in the background that pissed him off? Okay, once we scored those last few minutes, he was lively again. But he didn't sort of look his usual happy self. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into something that's not there.
No, some of the announcers mentioned that, but that could be true, Marcel. But it could also be that he was just being focused and being serious and going, there's an enormity of task here. It's really against us. Yeah, win 5 in a row, but it's still out of our hands, if indeed that even happens. So it could be just that, being serious about it, but maybe something did happen.
5 in a row is fun to talk about, but 5 in a row is not going to happen. I mean, 4 in a row would be magnificent. But
you want to make a bet right now? Like,
hey, look, if you want to give me 2,300 odds of 2,300 to 1 on us winning 5 in a row, I will take it. It's a good way to get my mortgage paid off. Put 100 quid on it now. There we go.
Oh, you give me those odds.
Why would I give you those odds? That makes no sense. You're the one who's saying it's going to happen.
You say it's not going to. You say it's not going to happen. I say it could happen. So yeah, you give me 1,000 to 1, on a pound note, and there you go. There, let's do it. You win, I give you £1. I win, I get 1,000. Yeah,
I think I might need to get, my wife is the one that holds the purse strings in this family, so I might need to get her permission if I was to go even down, go down that route.
Check in your wallet. You must have £1 in there or whatever, several francs that equal a
There'd be a few euros, not a lot. Not after yesterday.
Come on, actually, francs.
Oh,
yeah.
Somebody's got speakers on, so if they can make sure they turn those off, that would be great. So, have we just been joined by Austin? How you doing, Austin?
Hi.
By the way, good to see everybody.
How are you?
Optimist Oz has joined us. Optimist Oz probably is still thinking we're going to get 5 in a row.
We are 4 in a row now. 4 more in a row.
Well, no, it would be 4. Yes, 4 more in it, but it would get us to 5 in a row, which is what the aim is, clearly.
Right.
Oz, what did you think of the game?
We can do the maths. Let's get on with the chat, shall we?
I only saw the highlights. I was working, and I only saw the highlights on BBC, which didn't show the foul on Bissouma, which I thought should have been a straight sending off.
Yeah.
And they didn't even discuss it, which I thought was disgraceful. But we got 3 points. And so I said we'd get 3 points. I said we'd win 3-0. We didn't, because Colin Mooney can't shoot straight for love and a toffee. But I can't really comment. I've joined to be in the general discussion because I haven't seen the whole game.
Hey, Alexander, just 1 second. Alexander on our forum made an interesting point, and I asked him to just check on it. Palhinha's got more goals than Xavi and Moani combined in the Premier League. Whoa! He's got 4.
Yeah, he's done all right for goals. He's also scored a fairly spectacular one. He got an overhead bicycle kick earlier in the season, which was very nice. There was a very nice statement from John, which I'm going to try and look for while we're talking. But
John Cooper?
about the game. If I can find it, it may be difficult.
Right.
But yeah. I was a bit disappointed to see Palhinha come on instead of Archie Gray. Is anyone worried about Archie Gray? Because he seems to have not actually featured that much under the manager.
I was concerned. I mean, the game to me was screaming out for someone like Archie Gray, full of life, bigger, picking up loose balls, taking people on. I think it really needed that, especially against a team like Wolves. I think and I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes. It seems a rather odd omission given the season he's had.
I think Mr. De Zerbi is going for experience, and I think he's also trying to protect the youngsters from a relegation fight. That's what I reckon is going on. I mean, Bergvall came on. I think Gray probably would have come on but I think injuries probably changed his thinking around that time. But I think De Zerbi wants to get like the senior players to stand up and be counted. I think that's what's going on. I don't think it's about he doesn't fancy Gray or whatever. I think it's that he wants experience on the field, and then bring the youngsters on when the experience starts getting tired.
Yeah, it's just that when he came on against Brighton, I thought he did particularly well. He came on and he was involved in our better passing moves. So I thought at that point, my thoughts were De Zerbi is going to love playing this kid because he is already playing the kind of football De Zerbi wants to play with those passing movements. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Dave, but there's also one other aspect just with Polina, a lot of people diss on him, and he's not great progressive passer and whatever. But you know what? He's a warrior spirit. You can see it when he celebrates. The guy's just got thing about him, and his interviews after the game, he actually cares. And maybe he'd only care for 4 more games, but he actually cares, and that sort of warrior spirit, including Bentancur. Who was expecting Bentancur to be back in there with Basuma? So I think it pays heed to what Dave just said about going with experience and battlers, and maybe trying to protect the young lads, because they'll be playing a lot next year.
Well, of course, Bentancur and Basuma were the backline of our Europa League winning triumph last season, and played some good games together at the start of this season in that double pivot. So yeah,
no, they didn't. No, he and Basuma didn't actually play. Ali Gold checked that out. Hadn't played together before the last game, not this one yesterday, the one before, since the Europa final. They hadn't played together since the Europa final. So don't say they were starting this season. They weren't. It was Polina and Bentancur who were starting.
Okay, I can check it. Hang on a second.
By the way, also...
no, it's right. 2 games. 2 games. Yep. They played Brighton and Wolves.
Yeah, exactly. So they weren't starting.
I think it's worth pointing out, I think Bentancur has been absolutely splendid.
He has.
Last couple of days. He's playing further up the pitch, I think, than Frank was using him. I'm not sure that's because the whole team has shifted forwards up 1/3 of the pitch. Like, I think we played quite a lot of mid-low block, and now we're playing mid-high, aren't we? And Bentancur in that position is so much more effective. His way of turning the ball over and giving it, and is great. I mean, he was unlucky not to get on the score sheet yesterday. I think it was him that had that
header.
Thumping header, absolutely. Yeah. So he could be one of the keys to our survival, because if he can stay fit and if he can keep those performances at that level, I mean, he's a Rolls Royce of a player, but he's like a 1970s Rolls Royce that spends a lot of its time in the garage being fixed. But
Sardonicus is back.
He is a fantastic player, and he contributes going forward. He can get involved when he's playing further up the pitch like that. And we don't see that same frustrating thing we saw with the Polina Bentancur double pivot that we saw earlier this season, which was lots of sideways passing and starting too deep, and there was nothing knitting together the forward players and those deep. That deep double pivot, and we were only looking for Kudus on the right, or just really only Kudus on the right, to be honest, and that was our only outlet. Now we've got other options. Well, we did have other options before, unfortunately.
Injuries.
Before injuries struck again, which is quite extraordinary. Really extraordinary bad luck.
Yeah. So I know you were, I'm not going to say you were happy to see Solanke go off, but you were happy to see Richie come on because you're a fan of Richie.
Well, yeah, and although, I mean, I could claim Richie's assist to back me up, but I mean, it was even though it was a completely hopeless shot. The thing is that Richie creates havoc. He creates chaos, and things come out of the chaos. It's like yesterday, I think I said to you that we've got, actually, Kinsky did a fantastic job yesterday, so I'm not going to dump him, but I'm still going to say what I said before he did fantastic save, which is we've got a goalie that's good at all the stuff that you don't necessarily want a goalkeeper to be good at, and isn't good enough at the basics of being a goalie, stopping shots and things like that. No, he did a great job in the end. And we've got a striker that we're playing who is good at all the things you don't want a striker to be good at, and none of the things that a striker should be good at. So you've got Solanke at one end, that's good at everything apart from scoring goals, and you've got Kinsky at the other, which up until yesterday I would have said he's good at everything except for stopping goals. And so when Solanke got injured, of course I wasn't happy at all. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy thing. So I expect he's going to miss if he was going to go, I don't think he'll be going to the World Cup now. And it deprives us of options, and I don't think Richie's high energy sort of chaos machine is viable for 90 minutes. So he needs to be able to be subbed on or subbed off depending on whether it is. But I like Richie in a relegation fight. I like Richie as our striker.
Yeah, there's definitely
relegation Richie, they called him at Everton.
Yeah,
he helped save them.
Yeah, he did.
There are definite bonuses to having him in the squad. I like his determination. I like his attitude. Quality is a little bit debatable, but I mean, with Solanke out, and we don't know how bad it's going to be. De Zerbi has said it's a muscle injury, but they don't know what grade it is yet. So we don't know how long he's going to be back for. Maybe he'll be back for the end of the season. Maybe not. I don't know. It looked not
right.
great.
I mean, we lost Nuai for 6 weeks. He had a bloody dead leg.
Yeah, but I mean, the bigger loss I think is Xavi. Xavi is clearly going to be out for the season. I mean, I saw when he got injured, I did not see like the little twist and turn that people are saying is going to cause his ACL, but there's a lot of people saying ACL injury, and that would be a disaster for him because that would mean his season's over, the World Cup is gone, and the start of next season is done as well. He'll be out till end of the year.
I'd like to understand.
I need to go. I've got my brother on the phone.
All right, I'll see. Thanks, mate.
Take care.
See ya.
Okay. Yeah.
Go on, Marcel.
I'd like to understand the logic of our medical team, who said, "Go on, have another run up the field and try," and then his knee went completely. I mean, surely they knew he was coming off by that stage.
Yeah, Marcel, yes, I totally agree, but he could have insisted and said, no, I want to give it a go. I want to give it a go. You know what players are like. They're going to try and give it a go, and the medical guy should have stopped him.
Yeah, well, I wanted to come out of hospital the next day, but the medical guy said, "Don't be so fucking stupid," so I stayed in.
Yeah, something's definitely going on there. But you know what, De Zerbi, he's staying positive. He said, next man standing. Who's next?
Who is it going to be? Who's going to be the creative spark we need? Are they going to risk Maddison now?
No. I think because they've already done it this season. They'll throw in Gallagher or Berreval up there, and then run across the front Moani, Richarlison, and Tell. There is nobody else.
I think Benton Kerr probably has the most creative mind out of anyone left.
That's a good idea, actually. It's a good idea.
He can put through a through ball.
That's true. That would be great. It would be a lovely option. Yeah.
And Bissouma's got the ability to break a line with a run as well, so he could be an option. I have found John's post just before David leaves because I know his time is short tonight. But David said, John Ellis said, the media have rightly been saying we don't have the mentality to go away, battle, keep a clean sheet, and nick a scrappy winner off a corner. I am rejoicing and glass half full this morning because we did all of those things. The win will breed confidence and the players' belief not only in themselves but the manager as well. It is a different mentality at the bottom. De Zerbi has set them the challenge of winning the last 5 games. 1 down, 4 to go. 4 more, 1-0 wins, and we will be safe. We know the team is poor and lacking in so many areas, not least creativity and attack, but yesterday it showed a fighting spirit to keep a clean sheet and hold on to the lead. Quality of the football can wait till next season.
Absolutely.
I thought that was a particularly good post from Johnny. I mean, he's the man's written a book, so he knows what he's saying.
He's
got any?
He's great, John. I love reading his
posts.
Probably the best.
Very good. They're very good. Yeah. Anyway, that's where it's at. By the way, he's sort of right because if the other team also wins 4, then it doesn't matter that we won 4. But it'd be nice to go out on a run like that, and Stu can pay me for that bet, the unofficial bet.
Keep dreaming.
Stu, don't worry. I noted that he said he wants to bet in francs. So you're all right.
Oh, you're all right. They don't even
divided by 100. Yeah.
So
all right. I'm gonna sign up. But I just wanted to just finish with I like the mentality that I'm seeing from the side at the moment. I'm not liking all the football I'm seeing, but if we can just grind stuff out, and if the players can keep growing in their confidence, I think we can do stuff, with or without the injuries. So anyway, come on, you Spurs. I'm going to leave you all. Have a good pod.
Thanks for leaving
Thanks,
on a positive note.
Great time.
Thanks for
David.
leaving on a positive note.
All right, so
So
up next.
I've
Next
often-
is Aston Villa, and Aston Villa match may still get moved because it's between the two legs of the Europa League semi-finals. So there's a possibility that that match gets moved as well. But
What are they
what do we
playing?
think?
Are they playing the first leg this week?
I believe so.
Well, how else would it be moved? You know,
Well, I think it's got to be this week because I was told it's between the two legs.
So when? It has to be this week, and if it's not,
Hang
why
on,
should it be
give me a
moved?
second. So it's on the
Maybe.
30th of April. So it's in 4 days' time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there's a little break, and then us, and then a few more days, and then back to playing Nottingham Forest again.
So
Except that one's at home, so they will travel, then go home.
They're playing on Thursday, so maybe the game will be moved to Monday, maybe, huh? Hey,
Well, when we did it,
we played Thursdays.
Yeah,
We played Thursdays and Sundays. I remember, people, our managers going, "Why are we playing Thursdays and Sundays?" Exactly, being forced to play Thursdays and
what
Sundays.
we want basically is Villa to be in a situation where they're going to need the win in the second leg. Like a draw away would be great because that means that coming back to Villa Park, they're going to have to concentrate. They'll have one eye on that because they're safe in the Prem, and this is their way to silverware.
Yeah,
so
Champions League as well. Yeah,
and Champions League. Aren't they in the top four?
But coming back
they
to
dropped out the top one.
Coming back to having got our scrappy win, however we did it,
Uh-huh.
the biggest boost is going to be the psychological effect on the team.
Absolutely.
Finally, the monkey's off the back.
Yeah.
Isn't it remarkable that it was almost 4 months without a league win? It's just absolutely remarkable.
Yeah,
Never.
But that's what happens in teams. You get this group think saying we can't do it. We were so close against what's the name? Brighton, and a last-minute little cock-up threw it away. Therefore, we went from a super high to a real low. And coming into this game, we would have started off thinking, are we ever going to get a win? But we did it. And I'm sure now that has bred a certain positivity in psychologically in the team. And I think we can go to the Villa game full of confidence because they won't drag us down to the Wolves level of play. We'll have a much better game. We'll be on our toes much more against them, I think
they are another side we've struggled against recently, but I mean we've struggled against pretty much every side over the last 2 seasons, so it wouldn't be a major surprise.
That's history. That's history. It's different. Every game is different. I don't go for this. We haven't won there for 6 years. It's rubbish.
Yeah, but you're right, Marcel. But recently, within the last couple of years, I bet you we went there and won 4-1 or something like that, or 3-0. Check that out, Stu. My journalistic brain goes, yeah, we beat them in the last 3 seasons away from home by a big score. We tonked them, So yeah, maybe the other games we didn't, but that game we did. Yeah, so you're right, Marcel. Forget about
Every
that.
game's different.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah. No, and Dave just said a few good things just before he left about the mentality and getting that monkey off our back. I mean, a guy like I just love a guy like Palhinha. He's just a warrior. He knows he's limited, but he scores terrific goals, important goals, and even if he's on for 20 minutes, he puts in a shift. And it's like Danso actually. Actually, Danso gave away that horrible free kick right before the end yesterday. When he grabbed the guy just outside the penalty box. So
I could see. Not Danzo again, please.
You said the same thing, right?
It looked like history repeating itself. In the
exactly. I know. You know what? I turned the volume off because I didn't want to hear the fans, their fans going, yay! So I turned the volume off.
Tell you what, though, hats off to Kinsky.
Hats off to Kinsky.
Since Madrid, he's been outstanding.
He has.
Yeah, he's done very well.
Somebody come back from that level depth of despair being brought off after 17 minutes to do what he's done. I've always liked him as a keeper. I think he's more positive. He owns the whole area, which Vicario doesn't.
And he is better
Vicario
with
does try and own the whole area. You're shitting yourself.
he is.
And
he's also
better.
He is better with his
There was a point early in the game where there was a through ball, and I think Danso had to come back and shepherd it away. But it really should have been.
Danso didn't act. Danso sort of muffed it, and Kinsky had to sort of punch it away because Danso sort of.
No, that's not the one. That's not the one. There was one. There was earlier in the game where it was crying out for a keeper to come out and do something with it, but Kinsky stayed just back just a little bit too long. I have the head-to-heads. So the last time we beat them was in November 2024, where we beat them 4-1 in the Premier League, and we beat them 4-0 in the game before that. But the last 4 matches, 2 FA Cup matches and 2 league matches, we've lost.
Yeah, so okay, so we have beaten them, and one of them was away, right?
But not for a while. The last season and a half has not been great. So yeah.
But again, that's a new mentality. We're going there. We're going to win.
That's right, and we've got to take advantage of the fact that they're right between 2 very important games for them, because those games are pretty much going to determine whether or not they play in the Champions League. They're going to have a much better chance against the side in the final than they are against a side like Nottingham Forest, who have as we have seen, are a difficult side to play at times. Certainly when they're motivated and play properly.
Hey, by the way, Wolves have some good players on their team. Some of those Portuguese or Brazilian players are really good. You know, the one where they're stuck at the bottom. Maybe it's the coach, because they have some really good players. A couple of them, I go, boy, we'd be great with those. They'd love them on our team. You know, they've always had those good Portuguese, Brazilian sort of base. You know, for a long time.
Yeah, well, Matias Mane is a player that's been linked with a lot of clubs. João Gomez has been linked to us in the past. So you know, he's a good player. I was happy to see Juan sitting on the bench. A bit worried when he came off, but yeah, he was fine. No, they've got some good players. The problem is that they've just not got enough good players, and they've just had a bit of a really particularly bad season. It's just not worked for them. There's a lot of stuff that just hasn't worked, and they'll be hoping it improves over the summer.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm upbeat. All we can do is go turn up, and next man standing. If Xavi and Solanke are out, okay, who else moves in? And keep that mentality. And let's see. Who was it? Dave said if we get 1-0 wins in a row, great.
John Ellis said 4-1-0 wins.
Yeah,
that'll do him. So anybody think that we're going to see anything from James Maddison, or do we think he's just sat there on the bench trying to G everybody up?
Yeah, is he, just before Marcel, can I ask, is he actually listed as a sub, or is he just sitting on the bench?
He's listed as a sub.
Sorry?
He's listed as a sub.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The thing is, De Zerbi said something about he was feeling pain.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think there's a professional footballer out there at this stage of the season who isn't feeling pain of some sort. They all play through pain. So
you mean like professional fans?
I think Maddison's sort of thick-headed enough, damned-headed, I don't know what the word is, but he's
pig-headed
determined to actually say, sod the pain, I can do 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And he'll give everything. He's bursting to come back.
It's just whether he would get a game out of him, because now with Xavi injured, he's the one you'd really love to be able to turn to and say, right, okay, Xavi's out, let's bring James Maddison through. But I just don't think he's going to be fit enough to play that many minutes.
No, he won't. As I said, use somebody like Bentancur in that role, and later on in the game, last 15 minutes, we need a result. Bring Madders on just for the 15 minutes. Try and turn it.
Call the coach, Marcel. That's a great idea. By the way, Ali Gold made an interesting point. He said, this time last year, we were wrapping up the season, 17th place, trying to win the Europa, and we didn't have Maddison and Decky. And guess what? A year later, we're trying to stay in, and we don't have Maddison and Decky. They have contributed nothing in a whole season. Nothing. Yikes. Horrible.
Out of their control, though. It's not as if they've not tried to get back. That's the
No,
thing.
I'm not saying that. But
Yeah.
Jesus, just once again, bad juju, karma, whatever. Just like didn't a couple of weeks ago we said, okay, guy gets sent off. Okay, somebody gets injured. Okay, Broby pushes Romero into that guy. Oh, he should have got sent off. We're not getting any. And then yesterday, 2 guys go off. Any breaks? None.
Yeah. And we were justified in saying that as well, because the key match incident panel of the Premier League said that Broby should have been sent off.
Yeah.
He should have got a second yellow card for that. And I guess when they go around and look at that handball incident in the West Ham Everton game yesterday, they're going to go, oh yeah, penalty should have been given for that. That's how thin the margins are, people. That's where we are. That's really worrying.
Unfortunately, we're falling on the wrong side of the margin every single time at the moment.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
That has we've got to have a break sooner or later.
We got to have a break. I mentioned this a few weeks ago. Being a journalist, the good story that for the pundits and whatever, a big team, a top 10 revenue stream team going down to the championship is a negative story that they want to love to play up. Listen, if Man U were down there, they'd probably be doing it as well. If Man U were down there, or Liverpool perhaps, but we're the ones who are down there. And I just think that there is an element of playing in, maybe subconscious element of playing into, wouldn't that be good if Spurs got relegated,
Yeah, there might be a little bit of that, a little bit of glee, and also you've got a lot of pundits that just don't like Tottenham, that are happy to see them go down. I'm pretty sure Gary Neville doesn't have soft, fuzzy feelings towards us.
Doesn't?
No, yeah. Roy Keane, of course, was a Tottenham fan as a kid. He was a big fan of Glenn Hoddle, and he said that he thinks Tottenham are going to stay up. Gabby Bonlahor, I believe, has also said he thinks Tottenham's going to stay up. I think he's changed his mind from earlier in the season when he said Spurs are on their way down. I'm still resigned to going down, and I'm kind of looking forward to a season in the Championship and seeing what happens to us there. It'll be fun for a while. We'll see what takes us. It will hurt. It will hurt absolutely if it happens, but it's not a death knell for the club,
and it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well,
you
love you in with Oz the Optimist and Ash.
Well, all we needed was to get that win, to get the psychology of the group thinking positively again.
Yeah,
I think that's where we are now, because we have look at the squad. Maybe not the best squad we've ever had, but the ones that are still standing are good enough to finish mid-table at least.
Listen, it was kind of like last year when we had all those injuries, Decky and Matters out and whatever, and threw all the apples into the Europa basket, and we were, we got the job done. We got it done. So in many ways, it's similar. Let's get the job done. 4 games, And
I think one thing we need to sort out after the season's finished. Vinny, same ways, has to go.
Yeah.
And Langer has to go, because they oversaw the January transfer window where we actually weakened the squad. That's unforgivable. Given the long-term injuries, we knew Decky and people like that weren't going to be back this season. We did nothing to enhance the squad at all.
Yeah.
And that's disgraceful.
Yeah,
I think even worse, we let Thomas Frank have the whole of January to damage the club, put us even further into the mire, and also to let him select the Champions League squad. I mean, it was a disaster. Just letting him stay on that long. I mean, regardless of the fact that on here we were saying October, November, this is not working. Thomas Frank is going to end up leaving the club at some point, and it will be not particularly pleasant when he goes. And we were right, but they held on to him for 3 more months. They held on to him until the end of January. The beginning of February, we got rid of him. That was the point where they got rid. After the Champions League squad had been submitted, after our squad for the rest of the season had been submitted, after we'd sold Brennan Johnson, and you're like, what's going on? This just makes no sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So there we go.
Anyway, so three of us. I don't know where Dave stands on. Dave maybe more on the positive side. 4 of the 5 of us maybe on the positive side. We're hoping that we still actually can survive. And Stu's going to pay me that bet after the season.
Dream on. I'm hoping. I am hoping that we stay up. My expectation is that we go down. I'm fine with us going down now. And I've said so many times that club is such a basket case, and not specifically talking about Tottenham, other clubs. That club is such a basket case, they should be relegated, right? And you look at it this year, we are the basket case. We are the club that's just the craziest club in the Premier League. With all the things that have gone wrong, all the really bad decisions that have been made at Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur are the basket case club. And if I was a neutral fan, I'd be looking and saying, what are they doing in the Premier League? Just get them out. So, yeah, if Tottenham go down, I'll live with it. It's fine. We will bounce back. I'm sure we'll get through the championship season. We'll come back up, and then it'll be a case of rebuilding from there. It's just who have we got in charge when we did it? Like Marcel, I think that effectively we need to get rid of Vinay Venkatesham, we need to get rid of Johan Lange, and we need to bring in people at the top that make good football decisions and set us up well for the future. And I'm not impressed by the links of Sebastian Kehl from Borussia Dortmund, because he got sacked for being poor.
Yeah.
So
if De Zerbi stays, like with Emery at Aston Villa and obviously other guys at other clubs, and I can't name them all, I would like him to make input into who should be the sporting directors, because the guy he's going to have to work with, and I like De Zerbi. Maybe he'd only stay with us a maximum of 2 or 3 years, maybe less. But I like him, and I like his forward thinking. And that's what we need to do. Get rid of those guys and have a guy like De Zerbi, who is a football guy, to give input into who the guys are he should be working with.
Right. There is another way of survival.
What's that? Yeah, Man City go down.
Man City getting 60 points.
Man City win the league. The Premier League say, we don't want that again. We want Arsenal to win it. So that's when the 60 points will come in. So we should also be rooting for Man City to win the league, apart from our hatred of Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because that could be our path to survival.
I'm hoping that Man City win, because not football wins. I mean, football does not win with whichever club ends up winning the league. Either way, you're either going to end up with a club winning through like the stodgiest football you've seen since Wimbledon, just winning through set pieces and being solid, or you've got a side that's financially doped and has managed to buy all the good players and got the best manager and the best players, and yes, they should be winning. Personally, I would like to see the team that's playing better football winning, but it kind of sticks in my craw that team is Manchester City. So, yeah.
But the alternative is even worse.
The alternative's worse. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, ideally, I'd want Spurs to win, but, we're some way off at the moment.
We've left it a bit late.
We left it a little bit late to go on that charge. So
yeah, hey, just because we during those peak pot years when we ended up second a couple of times, third a time, isn't it shocking that Leicester, who won it 10 years ago, are actually going down to League One? Absolutely shocking. Weren't they in the early 60s? Didn't we beat them in a cup final, or beat them before my time, but in a cup final, or they finished second, or Burnley even? We might have beaten them first, second when we won the double.
Early 60s, Burnley, comes up Burnley, Leicester were right up there.
Yeah.
It goes around again. But then it was a different world back then. I think we touched on this before the Premier League had the 4 divisions, and you had players from lower divisions even getting into the England squad. Now the gap is huge between the top level and the championship. And the championship will not be an easy league to get out of either. That's why I'm worried about
so many games to play. 46 games in a league season.
Not just that, not they're not all easy either.
Sorry, yeah. No, they're not. There's some good sides down there. But I mean, I do think we've got the quality in reserve if we go down. I think players like Danso and Dragoshin would be league leading defenders down in the championship, let alone players coming back like Vuskovic if he gets over his knee injury. Kevin Phillips has had a solid season at Stoke.
Yeah.
But is he going to be able to take the step up to Premier League? Those are the questions.
Lancashire, Moore, LWB, Donnelly, a bunch of them. Parrott coming back. How about that? Put a cheeky bid in for Parrott,
Well, it has been said that he wouldn't mind coming back, and it also has been said that coming back to a championship side would be a better transition for him than going straight to a Premiership side.
There you go.
Yeah. I think those are conversations that we should have when we know where we're playing next year. If we go down, then we're going to have to go through the squad and we're going to have to work out who we think will stay and who we think will go.
You already did that on the forum. Come on.
Yeah, I've done it because I think of these silly things.
I checked you on that.
No, but we haven't put it out into the wider world and we haven't had the larger conversation. I think we're going to do that once the season is over or once our future is determined. If we go on a winning run and stay up, or look like we're staying up, even going into the last day, we're not going to have that conversation. We're not going to sit around and talk about, who will be playing for us in the championship next season until we know we're in the championship or not.
Yeah. What are the chances? I posted on another thing. What are the chances that it goes down to the last Sunday, to the last game, to the last time added on to determine who wins the league and who goes down?
And you just know that we will have somebody kicked up in the air in the penalty area, and the referee won't give it, and VAR will not give it.
Yeah, it'll be Rob Jones as the referee and Stuart Atwell as the VAR assistant, or something ridiculously stupid like that.
What are the chances of us also getting Michael Oliver again before the end of the season? Because that'd be a
fairly high, I think. No, I mean, if we're going to quickly touch on refereeing, I don't think the referee was too bad yesterday. There were things that got missed. The Gomez challenge, that should have been a straight red.
Yeah.
I think one of our players got elbowed as well. Zabi got elbowed in the face by one of their defenders, and you'd thought that should have been at least a yellow, but that didn't even get looked at.
Zabi or Porro, maybe?
No, it was Xavi, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was better in terms of the refereeing. Obviously, the bad refereeing went to the West Ham Everton game where they got away with a blatant handball. I genuinely don't know how they don't call that when it's gone to VAR. The guy reached around and punched the ball.
Apart from the handball, he had his arms right round him.
Yeah, 2 arms round him, and pushed the ball away with his hand. Hand went to ball. It's not. Yeah, it was crazy. We'll be hearing about that one. The key match incidents panel will say, "Oh yeah, well the referee got that one wrong," and we'll have to sit. We'll have to sit with it. That kind of decision is the kind of thing that could send us down.
Yeah.
But let's hope it's not. Let's hope that's not what we're talking about at the end of the season. There are so many things we could be. But there we go. I think that's a good point to call it a day or a night as we are. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Next one on the books. We're not sure yet. It's going to be on Monday, the 4th of May, and we'll be talking about that Aston Villa game. We'll see if it gets moved. Maybe we'll be moving with it. Until then, everybody, thank you for joining us, and come on, you Spurs.
With every wild take, we raise up our glass while pundits just chuckle, ignore them alas. never end.